Hi everyone! It's Sarah, your staff artist, writing program coordinator on 6 Feet Apart. Welcome to VSC's virtual programming. It's Thursday morning. Today, Kristen Mills, our visual arts program manager, has interviewed Estefania Puerta. She was a staff person here at VSC, and she also had a show at the Burlington City Arts. But we are bringing it to you virtually right now, and Kristen was able to interview her. So here we go.
Hi, Estefania. How are you?
I'm well, Kristen. How are you doing?
Good. It's really good to see you. I actually haven't seen you in a long time, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnson is like its own country, so
We invited you to come and be a guest artist and to do a talk at VSC, which, is postponed, not canceled, postponed. But I definitely wanted to check out your show at the BCA and go to your performance at the Generator, which I was unable to do because those are also paused. And so I just wanted to know if you could maybe talk a little bit about your exhibition and also maybe what that performance in relation to your exhibition was going to be. And then how does your work look now, or is that also on pause?
so I guess first I'll start off with the exhibition. So the exhibition at the BCA is a lot of sculptural, painterly type of work. They are discrete work, so there's about 12 pieces in the show. So I do have a space in the lower level where you can walk around and see discrete works, but then there is an installation that goes up through the stairwell all the way up to the third floor that sort of interweaves the whole stairwell space together. And so the performance that I was going to do at the Generator was sort of in lieu of an artist talk. So the exhibition is called Sore Mouth Swore, and it's sort of purposefully difficult and weird to pronounce in your mouth. It kind of feels like marbles if you say it enough.
I love that about
Yeah, and I was thinking a lot about just like speech in general and explaining yourself so much that it all just sort of feels like this sort of like exhaustive act in and of itself. And when words start feeling more like sounds and gibberish and sort of like entering this more absurd space around talk and language and these things that sort of can fall apart and feel like materials in and of themselves. So because that's what the focus of my work is, especially for this exhibition, it felt just like funny and weird to then do an artist talk around it. I think artists have a hard time a lot of the time, like being asked to talk about their work, because it's basically asking them to put language on top of language.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to experiment with doing something that felt more performative and not as directly explanatory around the work. So the performance at the Generator was going to be more of a movement sound piece that dealt with basically extracting sounds and words in a more embodied way, if you will, around the idea of like exhaustion and gibberish and just sort of like talking a lot to the point where it becomes sound and noise. I made a zine for the exhibition, and the zine has poems in it. And so I was going to take excerpts from the poetry itself and sort of read them. And part of the performance was going to be like improv. And there's things that I definitely know that I wanted to do, and then things that I'm still playing around with that I feel like are just like in the moment things, which is an exciting space for performance, to just have like that spontaneous reaction to whatever is going on in the moment.
That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
those are my words for those are all of my words for this.
Yeah, putting language over language over language.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, I only know a little bit about your work from what I've just researched on my own, or maybe the small conversations we've had at VSC, but would you say that performance is typically a part of your work, or is that something that's really introducing itself in a different way now?
It's interesting because I actually got into making sculptures initially because I was traveling around doing performances. So me and my collaborator at the time, we were basically like hitchhiking around the country and doing street performances. So a lot of the work came out of creating these sort of like provisional props and settings that we would just, make out of whatever was around us. And then that got me really interested in looking at objects and the idea of provisional materials as a way, I don't know, as like these like proposals for activity and for characters and for this like altered world that you can sort of like activate at any moment. So
Totally get that.
Yeah, so initially I got interested in sculpture from performance, and then just have kind of been interested in like the just like really delving into that, and also, you know, I think there's a complicated relationship with a lot of, or at least for me, about like having my body in the work. So I kind of stepped away from that a little bit. Yeah, so it kind of goes back and forth. So performance has always been there. It's kind of been put to the side for a little while, but I mean, I like have done performances throughout my life and continue to want to explore that, maybe in more direct relation to my visual artwork. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
If somebody wanted to see any of this work right now from their living room, any of this work, what would be the best way to do that?
So the current exhibition that is temporarily on pause at the BCA, they just launched an online platform to be able to take a virtual tour. Yeah, so you can go to, this website here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you scroll all the way down, so there's the exhibition overview, which is also in the exhibition itself. And then this is the catalog, but then you can also go here to take a 360-degree tour. Click on that, and then let's see what happens. And then it loads. I mean, it's like a little wonky, as these technologies tend to be, but it's been this whole coronavirus quarantine situation, of course, has a lot of intense, complex emotions that I think we're all navigating. But as an artist, and all the annoying things that have come out of things getting canceled and paused, I do think there's something exciting about these new platforms in which we can experience art. Anyways, so yeah, as you can see, you can kind of like tour around the show and like kind of keep going. One of my disclaimers around it is that the way that it is right now, is like super bright. It's not actually this bright in real life.
Right.
So the colors are a little washed out. It's like the pieces look more like this one. So like the lighting is just like, yeah, anyways, as I said, it's a little wonky, but it still gives you an idea of like the installation of the work itself.
I actually already did take a tour, but I just wanted you to show it.
Yeah.
Can you tell if people are visiting it, or are you getting responses in a way, or is it still kind of new?
I have gotten like responses from people that I know, but I haven't really checked in about like what the traffic is online with the BCA. I think they would know better than I. Yeah, I don't have a way of doing that.
So that's good.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice that it's not just like in limbo completely. And that like art sculpture, that one has like, it's a weird piece because there's like a lot of details in it, but you can't really see it in in a photograph. Anyways, like great job at photographing them and like getting into like all the details. So I feel really happy that I have that documentation. The BCA is a great place for showing for many reasons, but one being that that's a kind of like a part of the contract, is that they will like provide you with professional photographers and photographs of the work. So it's like awesome to just be able to have that as like a part of your portfolio. I can't do that myself. No, it worked out really well. And speaking of which, I'm talking to the BCA about doing maybe an artist talk now. So I'll keep you posted on that too, because I don't know if I'm hoping that there's still be a performance somewhere down the line, but this is going to be sort of the thing for now. I mean, again, I think like this is a really great platform, especially for rural states like Vermont in terms of the arts. And I think that it's really cool that like all of us are figuring out ways that we can be beyond a boundary of our physical space. And so I think that's going to be a really great thing to keep moving forward, of like how to kind of amp up the presence of artists here and like community interaction with the arts. It doesn't always have to be physical.
Right.
Thank you so much for asking me to do it. Like I said, I think it's also equally as uplifting for artists to be asked to talk about their work and just get to like be engaged in it in this way, participate. So thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Wow, that was really wonderful. Kristen does such a good job. Now here's Daniel with the sports.
This is currently the smallest tree in all of Vermont. I lied. This is currently the smallest tree in Vermont.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone, to 6 Feet Apart, our talk show, VSC's virtual programming. I think I just blinked. I'm sorry. Thanks for tuning in, and we're going to be bringing you programming as much as we can. New things every week. We're really excited about this, and we can't wait to see you. So tune back in on Monday. Bye.